Okay, I think I'm live. One sec. Let's go. Okay, this is a bit foreign. It's been a while. Um, Alright, 1 second. Alright, I'm here. Let's go. It's been a year, but I'm back. Kinda. I mean, I never. Well, I stopped posting, but I kept some work up. Um, so what we're looking at here is the new thing that I'm working on. I was working on the Batman model because the last model that I did was not finished. Well, it's still not finished, but I worked on some stuff. The main thing that I worked on was supports. We can look at this one. Actually, whoa, whoops. So let's look at this one. This one is a perfect example. So here, what you see here is you have all these supports, but it's all under one object here, which took more work than I thought it was going to. But once you go into edit mode, what you can do here is edit this here, and you can still have the flanges and move this around like that. Whereas the last time it was kind of like each point would be where the flange is. So now you can have freely moving flanges without destroying the entire I don't know, support. 1 second here. Stream might be going a little crazy here, but so yeah, now not only do you have non-destructive, I guess, supports, but you can also have multiple supports in one thing. So instead of grabbing just one piece of it or having to name each piece, like let's say this is like lift support 1 or whatever, it's not lift support and how many are in here? 5? 6? So it's not lift support 1. Actually, I think it's just 4. So not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just all kind of lift support 1. Or lift support 1, piece 1, lift support 1, piece 2. That also, it's not the cleanest thing, but return up that opacity. You can see that each support is numbered, and that comes in handy, which I haven't added to the tracks yet, but it comes in handy because you're gonna have all the beams editable in this one area, and I think there's only 4 here, so let's go down to there. So beam 1 is going to be this one. So if I edit beam 1, and let me see, let's change this to a round. You can see it changes it to a round support there. Ooh, that's a bit too far. So yeah, you can see it changes into that. Also on top of that, I did add some, as you can see here, some mapping. So you can get the little, like the little screw texture there. Same thing with all of these over here. Little logo on there, just for fun. So yeah, let me go back to square, just because that is way less topology there. So yep, you have 1. This is going to be beam number 2, beam number 3, and beam number 4. So that's going to be for every single one of the supports here, which is a lot of work going into it. Also, you have whoa, something is messed up here. Gonna have to fix that. because this should be, you know, up there. Is that for all of them, or is it just... No, this one's working. Oh, I also added these types of supports here, like the little smaller ones. I do need to adjust this this plate here, but that exists, and the other one is this one here. Now, the issue with this support is that when you move it, the plate is always going to align on the world axis for Z, which is perfect when you're making supports like this. Can't really see it. Here. See, it's angled in like this A shape. So that support is perfect. When it doesn't come in handy is for supports like this. And this is what I'm going to be working on today, where I want the support to be kind of parallel to the track here. Or at least that plate to be parallel to the track. And I'm also going to have to retexture it because this is going to be a different color here. So it's going to have a different support color or texture. I think that's it with the supports. I do need to go in and fix some things. These little, I don't know, support connector thingamabobs here. This right here, these are all, I'm having a tough time. These are all manual, but not as manual as they used to be. I think the first video that I posted has me kind of like manually building all of those. However, these, like the loop, the part on the loop here, that's all manual, but it, you know, it's only a couple of points here. It's not doing much. These right here, I do have this mountain brace part. It is included in my track tools that I have on Gumroad, but I'm gonna show you this. I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's line this up. And this is a 0.4 or 1.4, I should say. Oh, 1.6. So you kind of line up the track segment length, and you just kind of align it, same as all the other tools. Now, with this one, what I like to do is duplicate it. Oh, I don't have the thing that shows what key I'm using enabled on this computer. This is also a new computer. Well, same computer, different operating system. Anyway, I'm gonna Shift D to duplicate that, right click, and convert it to a mesh. Go into edit mode, hit 7 on the numpad to go to top view, just to make sure that this part here is equally in the middle, and that this distance and, you know, this distance doesn't look crazy, which it typically doesn't when, you know, everything is kind of lined up like that. But when you're on the heavily curved parts or twisted parts, it does look a little wild. Anyway, what I'm going to do is select all of that and kind of extrude it down and scale that part to the z-axis. And then I'll take an edge here. Let's get rid of these. And then on the scale, I'm just going to add a new transform operation. Do all of these and scale to the y. Bring it in. And just kind of move it up like that. And that's kind of how these are made. And then from there I can Control J to join it. Just gotta make sure to get rid of the second texture here. And then with this one, I could go to UV and just do project from view. I'm not putting any textures on it really. Move it into the square here. And that's how I get that. But since I don't need this, I am going to delete all that. But yeah, that's how I got these. I just have to do that for every single support. This little thing here was just modeled manually. Same thing with this here. Just kind of made a curve, and then made it the profile to a curve. You know, the profile thing. Anyway, that's how I got that. Now the track. So you may have noticed these numbers here. For each track, I have made it so I can edit the amount of track pieces. Let's just start with 1 for now. But for each track piece, this is 1.1 and 10, okay. I can kind of twist this to get the length of each section. The limit looks like it is 2.5, so 2.5 meters per track section. 2.5 is kind of ridiculous. I think 0.5 is the smallest, which is also ridiculous, but I think 0.9 or 0.8 was the lowest that I used on the Batman model for those really intense parts. I don't think this coaster needs anything more than that, especially when I'm using the thicker track, which, you know, we'll get to. You can also control the amount of units that are here. That was at 10, I'll leave that. You can also control the offset to match it up with the previous track. In the geometry nodes here, I would love to add another one of these to like the middle here, which I think I was working on, but I wasn't able to align it correctly. I was able to place it because, as you can see here, the text also updates. The first number is the length of each segment. The second number is the amount of each segment, or the amount of segments that are in each piece of track. And I wasn't able to align like another, I would guess a yellow circle here to add the amount of track pieces. So for now, those track pieces are going to be editable over here in the geometry nodes panel. And you can, you know, add as many pieces as you need. I believe this is going to be 10 pieces, so I can go ahead and put that back to where that was. This also makes it much easier to make track on the fly, because what I used to have to do was start, like if I had an individual piece, oh yeah, the cross, you can also move it back and forth on the spline here. So what I used to have to do was move it on the spline, and let's say it's the loop and I wanted it to be perfectly aligned, I would have to kind of align it perfectly like that and build each track piece, you know, kind of based off where the loop is. Or if there was another inversion, I would kind of have to work off of that. Now I don't have to do that. Now I can put that back, and I can just kind of build it on the fly, because I can edit this piece here and it kind of edits everything around it. Now the whole thing has to be made in sections. So I have one section here just for the station. Reason being is because after it's going to be a transfer, and then this piece right here is a mesh, custom mesh, just because I do have it going perfectly straight here. Just to give a little realism, I think I may have to redo this with a different spine thickness, but you know, got that going. But yeah, so each It's kind of hard to see on the yellow track. But you can kind of see this track piece right here is moving like that. So you can edit it like that. As you may have noticed is that the texture is jumping around, working on that. So it's all textured here, but for some reason, sometimes it likes to flip upside down like that, which is really annoying. So, and then this also comes, I'm also gonna probably add something up here, similar to the supports, where you can see which number it is. So like it's kind of small, but you have 1 and 2 right there. I need to do the same for the track pieces, because for now I kind of have to count in between the rings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is track number 6, or track piece number 6. It's flipped upside down. I have to manually flip spine UV, which, you know, not the biggest fan of, but let me put this back. That is something that I'm trying to work on. Oh, there's another thing with the texturing. I wanted to do the same with this one. I wanted it to be the kind of have an orange, a dark top, similar to Talon, or I guess similar to this right here, just orange and yellow. Let's change that to primary track. Oh, well, I guess it does work. Huh. Maybe it was a bug and it wasn't working earlier. But as you can see, like this one would have to be switched, this one would have to be toggled. Like that whole loop pretty much would have to be toggled. So maybe I'll work on that. I think the issue was, and I'll show you here. Let's go back to the old texture. Here, you can see that there's different spine thicknesses. This is going from a medium spine thickness to a thicker spine thickness. I do believe I need to add one more level of this because it only goes 2 out. So it changes the end, the first one from the end, and the second one from the end. They're the only ones that are, I guess this one is the only one that's changing. This one just is a value. I need to add it so the second one out also changes its value just to make it a little bit more subtle. But basically what's happening is changing this kind of makes the UVs freak out a little bit. And I think what was happening was I was making this go from track piece number 1. So it started at high G-force, and then the spline end would go to medium G-force just like that, and that did something to the UVs and made it so that this texture was a little bit messed up. So it looks like it can go from medium to large, but not large to medium, so that's something to work on. Also, the textures in general, let me use this one. If I were to make it this last one low, I don't know if it keeps that texture. Oh, it does. Perfect. Alright, that was my intention, was to keep it like that. So that's nice. That's great. I'm not sure how much I'll be using this low or the extra or extreme G-force. Maybe for gigas and stuff like that. But normally it's going to be medium and high G-force. But since we're at the bottom of the drop here, I did want to make that the high G-force. Alright. What else did I work on? I also need to change the texture. Oh, whoops, not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted at all. Okay. I need to change the texture to this to match the track texture. So I'm thinking what I may need to do in my support texture is to add a section in my textures to, actually no. I could make a toggle for one texture to have the track texture Well, it already has a track texture, but a toggle to make that go to it, and a secondary. But I think I may just need to make extra separate textures for that. Oh, another thing with... I'm gonna go ahead and do this right now, actually. Another thing that I can do here is I can toggle the support number 2. Support beam number 2. I can toggle on the foundation. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna toggle all these off. Beam number 2, toggle off. Beam number 2, toggle off. Let's make it a plane. And do I have my snapping on? Yep. I'm gonna move that on the G axis to there. Turn off snapping. I'm also gonna rotate this 45. Nah, it's a little bit more than that. I'll go ahead and put this here. Okay, not a fan that these are not all aligned. Give me 1 second, I used to separate the supports. No, not those. Whoops, go back. There we go. I'll just take all of these. I'm just going to select all of these, and we are going to take this one, scale those all to 0. Perfect. Alright, let me go back to this one. And then we're going to move this down. Alright, there we go. Anyway, back to what I was doing. I'm basically making it so these are all sharing one foundation. I'm calling them foundations. I don't know what the hell they're called, but you know, looking this stuff up online, there's only but so much information, and sometimes there's a little bit too much information. Like it's there's like a million different ways to call something. I'm not able to bevel this. Huh. Well, in that case, I'll take these two, subdivide them, and then we will delete that one. Perfect. And then I am going to extrude. I'm going to use that corner to get that. Alt select, Shift N to flip the normals. And then what I'll do is I'll add the support texture. And scale that down, and I just know that this is going to be here. Let me select faces actually. That face can go there. And Control I. Those faces can go here. So when you select all of it, there we go. Top face is a little bit more vibrant because I'm going for a simplistic look. You can't really tell, but top's supposed to be a little bit lighter than the sides. Going for that almost cell-shaded kind of look, just because I know I'm not going to be able to put textures in the way that I texture map this, or at least for the supports. The supports look a mess, but they work with solid colors for now. And what else is there? Oh, I also added. Oh, let me put that back. Let's get rid of that. I've also added, if you look closely, some textures on the top here. Is it realistic? But is it better than what I had? Absolutely. Even got the sides over here. And on the bottom, got some as well. Not as visible, but I am thinking of cleaning this up to make it look a little bit more realistic with the kind of the metal part showing as well. So yeah, that's going around the entire thing. I'm trying to look to see if there's a spot that doesn't look as clean, which does pop up sometimes just because each, like right here. So, you know, doesn't look 100% great all the time, but tis what it is. So yeah, that's basically what I've been working on. Aside from, I was working on the Batman model, not this Batman model, but the other one, and then I was working on a custom B&M invert, which I feel like I need to rebuild in No Limits because it's a little bit too big for what I was looking for. Oh yeah, let me show you the layout. This is Batman Dark Knight from Six Flags New England. Except the lift is at a normal incline. And in order to have the rest of the same layout, you kind of have to have this tourney drop here, kind of like Mantis. What is it called now? Rougarou. It's a little different just because I didn't want it to be too deep and kind of be an awkward, I don't know, so it's kind of subtle. The back kind of whips you down the drop, which is kind of what I designed for, but I'm not a host designer, so there's that. The stream quality keeps going in and out, oh lord. But we shall push through, I'm not even sure how long I'm going to be streaming this time, but I did want to stream something. You know, it's been a while. So yeah, the rest of the layout is the exact same. What I'm thinking about here is in Six Flags New England, this is a walkway under. I believe it goes to the water park. But I was thinking about that idea and seeing if I can make like a tiny little park entrance and model that with this. I mean, I haven't modeled the station yet, so that's a bit ambitious, but I think it would be pretty cool. This would be something that I would build in like Planet Coaster or something, but I'm not rebuilding all of this in Planet Coaster. Absolutely not. Unless, well, they do have that vector design mod that is out now. I'm now using a Linux PC, so I don't even know if I can get mods on Planet Coaster. But I've also kind of stopped playing Planet Coaster because I'm working on all this. Like, might as well just 3D model it. Anyway, let me go onto the support. Let me save this. Need to work on the supports because I need to fix this. Now, is it going to stream the right one? We shall see. Is it gonna work? I'm waiting to see it update on my other window here. I think it's working. Perfect, it is. Okay, sorry. That took a while. Okay, so I also need to update it so that from this ring up, it'll match this top color. I feel like that gives it a little bit more realism. Actually, while I'm here, I'm gonna adjust this plate here to be a bit shorter. I feel like it's a bit too wide, maybe a bit too long. Maybe 0.6. Let's go with that. We can adjust that as it goes. Okay, what was I working on? Not this one, not this one. this one. Vertical plate. I need to add a toggle in here. Let's actually change this to mount vertical large. And as you can see, the UVs here sometimes get a little crazy. So I just kind of scaled it down. So it's only single color because I could not be arsed with that right now. The rest of it, you know, it's pretty solid. Anyway, here, I want to make it so the plate lines up here. How do I do that? So instant on points rotation here. It's gotta look ugly before it looks pretty. Just take that out right there. Okay. Curve tangent. Let's see what it looks like with just tangent. Kinda. So align rotation to vector. Tangent is that. This is going to be the rotation. Just put that there. Oh wait, that is actually giving us what we want. But I need to also I need to then also, whoops, not me to do that. I need to go back to extend caps. And there is this mesh boolean here. Nope. Is that it? What do you mean? Oh wait, this is the footer. It's this. Huh. I need documentation for my stuff. Alright, vertical mount. Vertical mount boolean. There we go. Actually, I'm not even going in here. Let's just put that to true. Right. So, what I need to do is... This was untrue, right? Yeah. I need to add a boolean out here. That makes it so it switches this to look like that and gets rid of that boolean there. This is on points mess boolean. Is there anything in the middle of that? There is. That extension is what I need to disable. Because if you can see, there's a ring that's kind of along where that point is. I need it to stop there and not extend. Now, how do I do that? Let's go extend support start. Disable. Yes, so I would disable this on that. And then the boolean. This would go like that. No, it would not. And then this would go like that. Yes! Alright, that's what I need to make. Alright, let's put all this back before I start crying. Actually, let's start here. This is going to be a switch. It's not what I meant. Switch. And that's going to be false. We're going to add the switch here. And yes, we're going to take the absolute waste of time to make it look pretty. And bring that all down here. And yes, I'm going to select this and position it correctly. And I'm going to do that and that and connect them up all pretty like. And might as well go ahead and position this now. I usually wait, but alright, so something like that. The switch, let's move this down. Now this is going to connect here as well. So we're going to copy that just like that. Move it down. Actually, let me not. Let me just call it switch. Whoops. It's now hitting me that I should probably name that something else. Let's name it align plate to support. Align plate to support. That is a line. I can just do align plate. So vertical mount, and it'll have a toggle here that's called align plate. Alright. Let's align plate. Keep turning on the animation plate or player. Boo! I gotta move all this down. Guess I don't have to, but I sure will. Beam number. Under beam number, I can add that. Let's make a new one. Call it line plate. Whoops. What happened to my music? There we go. Okay. Align plate. That I want it to go. It can go under cap. That's fine. And yes, I'm absolutely moving all this out of the way. Why is this so important to me? I can't tell you. I can't tell you why. It just is. Why can't I go back? Ah, I see. So I'm going to save this, then I want to go to this. I want to open that. I want to open up support beam, not support beam. Oh, because this is support beam. It needs to be support. Alright, hold on, let me re-add all this stuff here. Support color. Let's make this constant. Oh, that's another thing that I didn't mention. I can make it so each individual support, if there's multiple, let's go like that. So let's say I have these three here. In order to make them show up, I have to go like 2, 3, like there's 3 of them here, right? And then what I can do is individual radiuses, or radii, whatever. So they can be individually done like that, or they can all be constant. Because I was tired of doing it individually, so I made it a toggle. Anyway, that is not what I wanted to show you. Let's go to constant, let's make it 0.25, and let's add a flange just so I can work on that if I need to. There's only one beam here. Let's make the footer type round because it looks better. Whoa, the heck? Oh, footer offset, that's crazy. Footer length, that's a bit wild. And the mounting type is vertical mount, large. All right, back to where we were. Basically, this disgusting node needs to be edited. I will do that off stream because that is not a valuable use of everyone else's time. So instead of having this giant thing like that, I just kind of split it up, which was notable on the other thing that I had open. It was like in the track one, I have it split up like that. That just makes adding these extra things like I'm doing now a little bit easier. Anyway, beam 1. We were in here. We aligned our plate. Let's go back. Align plate, which is under cap. Gonna move that down by 1. And move that one down by 1 as well. Just gonna copy that. Line lose it just like that. Alright, and then I'm gonna move the line plate under cap. Sweet. I'm hiding all of this because it hurts my brain. And yep, so now we go out of here. And now each one of these should have an extra beam, a line plate. So now we just have to add it to the actual thing. I am not connecting it the same way that I have been because that will take forever. But what I can do is add an input and make it a boolean and call it a line plate. And I'm not moving all this around because that's insane. I'll do that later. So a line plate is going to show up here. I want it to show up under beam 1 after mounting brace type. Boom, line plate. And now it's gonna toggle. Perfect. So this is only gonna work for beam 1 for now until I manually add it for all of them. Extend caps. Okay. Accidentally undid that and didn't put it back. When I put it back. Wait, no. Let's go back to brace. There was something that this. So if it's true, then nothing shows. Mesh boolean. Ah, okay, so the mesh boolean, this needs to go to true here. just like that. So it gets rid of that boolean when I hit that. Perfect. Now, that's it for that. I need to go to this extend support, which is going to add, let me turn on my wireframe. So here you can see that this is the end of the point here. In the old supports, you kind of had to manually place the footer. I'm not doing that. So to fix it, I added or extended the support and then just boolean chopped off there. So now we kind of have to deal with this extra part here, which automatically places itself here when it automatically places itself there when switch D. This is equal to D. No, this needs to be when it equals to universal, which is AB. Huh. Oh no, I'm in edit mode. Okay. Universal. Alright, so the reason I need that is so this can fill in that gap, because if it doesn't, then it, this is just a giant hole left in there. So what is this doing? Switch, when this is equal to B, it's either going to vertical mount boolean. It's going to do the boolean. But I guess we don't need this because I just solved that in the last one. Alright, I'm going to bug fix that later. I think this is kind of doing the exact same thing. Nope, it's not. Let me put that back. No, it's not. Let me stop. Alright. I need that there. Let me put that back. That just makes it so I can toggle this on and off. Alright. Is there another extend support mount type? I need a viewer node. I can't read all that right now. Hold on. Okay, so this is the extension. Of course, you're gonna flip it there. So this output is gonna be just that. Or I guess I should be in viewer node this join switch. Let me add one more switch here. And say this will be true. Let's mute that. True. There we go. False. Wait a second. Slash. This needs to go here. And unmuted. This needs to go here. That's false. This is true. Alright. Okay. So when this is true, we're gonna ignore all that extra stuff that goes on there. When it's false, we're gonna add the extra stuff on there. And then here, align plate. And when it's not aligned, it's gonna flip this way. But since we manually made this turn, it's not gonna go the way that we need it to. whoops, align plate. Perfect, 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 perfect. So when we align plate, it's still showing that. When we align plate, let's go back. When this is, no, not that one. Yeah. Was it this? We have to hook that up. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. We're gonna copy that one down. Move it over like so. Let's take that. Move this switch there. I just don't like it being called input, you know? Sometimes it actually does take a name that's helpful, but this is align, what was it? Align, plate. There we go. Perfect. Clean this up. Like so, like that. Perfect. And let's move you over because that is not 3 spaces. Let's go. So that's that for the extended part. Now we need to go to the build mount. And vertical mount plate. Now this mess that we started with, we need to do a switch rotation. False, no, this needs to be true. False needs to be this. And it's going to toggle just like that. And you still should be able to rotate it as well. Yep. Perfect. So let's hook that up. Let's get everything hooked up. Let's do that. And let's name everything correctly, Lordy. Align plate. And then that can. I'm cleaning it up now. I have to. I have to. I absolutely have to. It's gonna make me throw up if I don't. It doesn't take that long. You know? You know? Come on, before you know it, it's all gonna be cleaned up, and I'm gonna be so much happier. Oh, I missed it. Here we go. See? So much cleaner. Alright, obviously I'm... okay. Oh, Lord. I keep, like, invalidating doing this and saying it's such a waste of time, but honestly, I find this to be just like code. I'm not about to sit here and read the comments on your code. It should be, you should be able to read it left and right and know what the hell is going on. Like all that stuff that I was dealing with earlier, I had no idea what, when I wrote that, like, what? I'm not gonna write comments and stuff, I'm just gonna read what it does and go left to right. So we're gonna add that, I don't know where it went, align plate there. Z rotation, that's right above the translates and all that. Move that down, copy that, paste it up. And now I don't have to go back and do this, because I will go back. Align plate, simple. Actually, we're gonna delete that so I can keep the name. Align plate is this one. Shuffle all this down. I don't like how sometimes you have to individually select, but could be worse. Boom. Align plate. There we go. So now we just gotta get rid of the thing from actually happening. I thought I did that. This is start. Okay, yeah, it is start. If it's true, then it's just this. Which, is it not connected? It's not connected. Okay. There we go. And just like that, boom, we got it. Okay, so if you don't align the plate, it's gonna follow the z-axis, or be flat. I don't know what axis is following. I guess no axis. Global? Yeah. Global axis stays flat. And then when you align the plate, there we go. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. Alright, gonna scale that to everything but z, 0, and then we'll get it back to up and down like it was before. Perfect. And then I can work on the small plate now, or the small vertical plate. Now what we're gonna do here is make it so this under part is also blue as well. Let me save. Actually, let me do this. This is also what I've been doing for version control. I save a copy in my version control folder. I hit the newest one, or the one that has V27 on the end of it, or V whatever. Hit the plus sign. It goes up a version to 28, and then enter to save. Boom. You won't be able to see this part, but what I do here is projects Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight, I should say. Version control, and then I have a version history markdown file, and then from there. Oh wait, I'm not doing Dark Knight. That was my tool. That was a support generator. Yeah, because for the Dark Knight, I'm on like version 2. On this one, I'm on version 28. Alright. So yeah, the 1 second here. Version 28. Added. Added align plate boolean in all caps to beam 1 only. 4 exclamation points. Save. So then when I go back, I'll be like, why isn't this working for all of them? Because it's only for beam 1. Because in order to make it for all of them, I would have to attach align plate. I would have to duplicate this 10 times and then attach it to all 10. And I'm not doing that right now because I want to have like 10, I guess 11 different of these group inputs, maybe 10, attached to each one of these, so I can easily attach it that way. Anyway, for now, we're going to do the coloring on this, which is under build mount, vertical small mount, or mount small, vertical plate. What I'm going to do here is I have my own is not available yet on Gumroad, but it will be. Which is, what is it called? Create UV map. And what this does, and then the UV map name is something I've added here. Can add the same UV map name, so I'm not manually typing in all of that. Oh, there we go. Let me hide the rest of everything else right now by pressing M. M as in a monkey. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, this is gonna be a bit difficult, I think, here. Because typically what I would do is just scale this by like 0.2 and then kind of move it on the X and Y axis to be there, but that's also gonna color. Let me get it actually on the where it needs to go. Come on, work with me. All right. So this is the color that I want it to be, but I also want these to still be silver. So I can't do that. Let's rethink this. Let's rethink this. I could... Well, what I can do is color this part without having to deal with that. So create cylinder. Or do I have UV options here? Yes. That's another thing. Some of the tools that I have like create cylinder now have UV map options that are just kind of baked into it. So I want to, what is this? That's the very bottom one. I don't want to mess with that. This is that entire thing. So we're gonna go in here. Oh, yikes. Oh no. Okay, so this is, wait, hold on. All right, there we go. This is how I created a lot of things prior to make the cylinders, but then I ended up with just create cylinder to make this here. Oh, oops. So this is both? Oh, it's because it's extruding and stuff like that. Yeah, see... All of this needs to be replaced. This top one goes into here. No, I don't want that. Let's hide that because you're kind of in the way here. Let me just add this to that duplicate. Alright. What I'm gonna do is add the fill start and fill end to close that off. And then I'm also going to UV map. Okay, so I'm gonna open up all these. So there's a UV map for the, let me click on it. There's a UV map for the top, the bottom, and the sides, right? I'm gonna do combine, just so I'm using the same, let's rename this to translate. So I'm gonna use the same translate for all of them. Translate, translate, and translate. The Z doesn't do anything, but the rest will. So I can move it around. I'm also going to copy and paste that. Column scale. Let me change this to say 0.1. Move that there, there, and there. can't see it on here. Like nothing's moving. Ah. Oh wait, no. Oh. Doesn't have the UV map. This isn't either. It's also being manipulated by this, so we're gonna mute that. There we go. I forgot I added one on the end. I'm glad I looked over. Anyway, you can manipulate the scale here by saying like 1, and then... Oh wow, this is way off screen. There we go. 0, 0. And you can kind of scale the X. You can scale the Y. And then you can translate it. I'm going to put these both at 0.1. Or sorry, 0.2. And we're going to move it on the X. And the Y. So it does look like it needs to be 0.2. I'm going to move it over a little bit more. So as you can see, now it is the color that I need it to be. Again, it is not the most glamorous thing in the world, but it is what it is. Wait, let's move this up. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is make it a switch. We're gonna make a switch. It's gonna be a vector switch. I guess I am doing the full 2 hours here today, huh? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna add 2 of these. One for the scale, one for the other one. No, the scale needs to be what it is. Let me turn this back on and see where all this is. Is it just there? I don't vibe with that. I don't like that, not one bit. Scale's 0.2, okay. Yeah, and it's just there. Yeah, I don't vibe with that. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. Yeah, we gotta fix this whole file here. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is move this, the translate. We're gonna do this 0.1 on the scale. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. The translate is gonna go through the switch. And it is a vector switch. So it's true. Translate, translate, translate. False is gonna be wherever the hell it's at now. Oh no, that's that nasty spot. Let's get over here at least. Oh, that's the scale. We can move it there. This switch. Actually, no, we don't need a switch. We need. What are we looking for? Hold on, pause. I created a node for this specifically. Oh wait, whoops, we're in small. Polygon vector switch. Dang it, I have to reconnect all these. And translate is going to be A. So this makes it so I don't have to also do compare and string, and then if string equals yada yada, and then attach that to the switch that I just made. And also I can do as many switches as I need to. So if the input is A through J, then it'll do A through J. Very simple node, but you know, it's just a million switches. Input is going to be the mount type. Is that what it's called? Mount brace type? Yeah, mount type. Let's do that. Mount type. That's still not here. Acres. Mount type. Yep, mount type. Boom. Yeah. Alright, you're going next to UV name. Above. Copy that. Move that there. Attach that there. You're going above. Alright, so if the mount type equals A, no, if the mount type equals A, B, C, if it equals C, we're gonna move it there. Perfect. So now, if the mount is something that's, oh, we have to fix that as well. Then it's gonna be that color. Okay. Nope, not doing that. This does need to be extruded and all that. There's another. I have to add another cylinder, I think. Let's close all this and add you here. UV map. Add this to the join here. Options. We're not doing UVs. Translation. Oh lordy. That's interesting. What's going on there? Alright. And then the scale on X and Y. No, the radius. What am I doing? Radius is 0.08? Was it half? Nah. 0.1. We're gonna turn off fill start and fill end. We're gonna make the length. I could just copy and paste from whatever is over here. But for now, this is what we're doing. Okay, we got that. Alright, now let's do UVs. Why is this hidden? Oh, because I don't have the fill start. Okay. This is going to go to translate. And the scale is going to go to scale. So now we have the exact same UVs that we did here. Now we just gotta make the bottom plate look like that and clean this up, but we'll get there. Vertical mount. Here we go. Support track. Oh, this is another thing that I did. Because these are the exact same, except here, this one has the flat ones, and this one has like basically the same thing, except with the little screw part looking thing. I have the top plate and bottom plate. But I didn't want to call it top plate and bottom plate because just in case I wanted to like make it like this for whatever reason. I don't see a use case for ever doing that. That I could have it switched or something. I don't know. Anyway, the way that I named it was track side and support side, because the support is going to be here, track is up there. So track side, support side. Anyway, this is the, I need to change the support side to be that, because the track side is obviously going to be colors of the track. Support side, create mounting plate, and then we have to create UV map here. So we're going to edit this to be the same numbers as the other one. I'm not going to, you know, spaghetti string them through though, because that's a bit wild. Huh? Oh, this itself is that. Okay, switch. Support side? Ah. What is this? Okay, I get it. I get it. We're gonna move this here. And we're gonna do a RG vector, which is the same node that we use on the other one. So support side, true. If this is support side, they're gonna do that. Otherwise, it's gonna be this one. Let me put. No, I'm not gonna use RG. I'm actually gonna have to use the compare. Compare, and we're gonna. Mount type. Mount type might have mount types not in here. It's gonna go above though. Whoops. Mount type. Just gonna go up there. And mount type. The other one doesn't really need it, so I'm not gonna bother. Oh, look at that, perfect. And not perfect. Here we go. Mount type. Is that this? It's this one. Hold on. Let's do this easier, the easier way. Mount type, mount type. I have to. And then move this up there. There we go. So if mount type equals what? C? A, B, C. Yes, if this equals C. Let's copy this. Now, I hate that. Okay. If this equals C, then we're gonna, that's gonna be the false output. So this false. Oh, perfect, it's already there. Okay, cool. We're gonna put this in there. This is gonna be, I can't. Oh. This should be true, right? Oh, I see. This needs to go into false. This needs to go to translate. This is what we edit. Did I accidentally guess that perfectly? It's kind of cool. Wait, no. Wait, I did. Oh, I guess that almost perfectly. That's crazy. Anyway, that took me by surprise. So now that whole thing is blue just like we wanted, and we keep the bolts there. Perfect. Now let's clean this up. All right, what's going on with the music? What's going on with the music? Yes. There we go. I have missed streaming. Not the talking part, or talking to people part, obviously. There's no one here, but it is nice to talk this stuff out. Makes stuff make more sense. There is a method to this. Results go on the top. Things that are just input go on the bottom. Unless it's a string variable, or if it's geometry, that always goes on top. Everything else on the bottom. Now, are there any bugs? Are there any bugs? Whoops, right now I cannot tell. I need to unmute all of these. Any bugs? I don't think this is good. Yeah, that still stays kind of like that. You know what? I might as well just make it so it follows. There's no reason not to. Work plate. Join geometry into some points. Rotation. Let's do a line. Rotation of vector. Smooth that out of the way. And then curve. Tangent is going to be the vector. The rotation. Smooth there. Hide that. And hide that. We can do that. Oh, I guess the plate needs to align as well. Because that's not being instanced on points. So what we can say is that there as well. Is that correct? Yes. Is there a reason to do this? I have no idea, but that's what we're doing. Let's scale that everything but Z. Okay, save. I don't think, let's see if I mess anything else up before we, I have 40 minutes to get to the universal plate. So none should be none. Not mess anything up. No. We're gonna skip universal. Small, we just checked that one out, and enlarge. Yep. I feel like this should default to on. And then turn it off. Excuse me. When not needed. Oops. Scale everything to Z. Okay, now let's work on universal. Let me actually extrude this over and make it as if it were we're missing a piece here. I did break something. Start mount type, support start. Whoops. So this is not evaluated. Align plate is false, which should be this, right? Or am I insane? Oh, align plate should only exist. Wait a second. Let's add a switch. It'll be a Boolean switch. If this exists, no. Let's do our RG Boolean switch. Dun, 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 top line. Do, 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 do. So if this input equals C, then we'll do this. Otherwise, it's false. Even if it's true. Oh, it doesn't exist. Perfect. So that's only going to exist on small, align plate. Oh no, it should be on large. Ah. Okay. Here's another thing, which I'm not going to fix. This is obviously has a boolean here, which is messing up a lot of stuff here. The fix to that is only use it when you're supposed to. I don't see that as a bug. I see that as a use it correctly. Oh no. True. False. Oh, input D. There we go. Input D, align plate. And then if we go to small, it shouldn't be there. And if we go to universal, it shouldn't be there. Perfect. All right, we squashed that bug. Let's clean this up. Let's hide that. Let's move all of this down by 1. Not duplicate it. Okay, let's just move that down by 1. This one goes down by 1 as well. And then we'll copy all of these. I don't know what was going on with my key bindings. I think because I copied it, it wouldn't let me hit the back key and reselect. Anyway, that goes there like that. Why are these on the bottom? These should be on the top. They're inputs. Anyway, I'll fix that later. Okay, so this is set. Let's scale this by Z. Oh, whoops. Scale it on the Z. And now scale it on the Y. Or scale on the X. The actual X. And move it along the Y. Cool. Again, that's still gonna create, you know, some issues there. But use it the way you're supposed to. Don't have to worry about it. Universal plate. All I have to do for this one is scooch that down. Let's go to build mount, universal mount, vertical plate, transform the Z-axis. What's going on with that? Z-axis times 2, right? I think it needs to be times 2. Let's duplicate this. And let's rename it or forget. Times 2. Let's take this bottom one, put it in there. Alright, -2. And I think that, man, oh, it's a bit too big there. -1.8. I think that goes in there. What? Is this not -1.8? Of course. Times 0.5. This is negative 1.8. So what does this go to? Hold on. Everyone pause. Oh, I'm in edit mode. Oh, jeez. Oh, 1.8. Is it negative or not? Oh, I was using. It's already times -1. That's. Oh. Times -0.9. Alright, let's mute that. And then just do 2. Or -2. And then we'll do the math from there. Are we still using that number? So how is the negative? All right, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore. All right. I don't even know how that bug got there, but this should work like normal, and it does. And still rotate. Perfect. Let's delete that. Try out this one. And that still rotates perfect. And this one. And that still rotates. Let's go. Let's put this at 0. Alright, well that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm surprised that I actually did it. Raleigh gone straight up update or upgrade. He knows what he's doing in geometry nodes. Crazy, right? Let's go back to Dark Knight. Or not Dark Knight. And for this, align plate. I'm gonna cry. What's going on? Why is that happening? Okay, let's go back. Extend caps. Support. Okay. False. Why is it false? Input is D because it's in the wrong spot. I think I controlled Z too many times when doing this. It didn't even save. I was in edit mode. That's right. That is right. I think I could just do this bottom one, right? No, I cannot. Let's duplicate that. Duplicate that. Move that in input. Put that there. What the heck was that? There we go. Okay. Footer type. And then footer type. Okay, yeah. See, that's why you name stuff here, and you don't have to group it and, like, not hide. I don't even know what it's. Alright, I'm messing everything up here. I'm in edit mode again. Send help. Alright. Yeah, doing this and then like framing it, yeah. I'm not doing all that. I don't find much value in that when I can just kind of like name each thing that I need and make it look like not making me want to throw up, you know? Scale out to everything but Z. Let's save. See if it works. Align plate. Perfect. All of that work just to align this plate. Alright, so let me, I think I'm going to finish supporting. Maybe not this part here. I have to kind of work on connecting this, but supporting the rest of this is what I'll do. I'll finish it out. Support generator. Let's save copy, version control, plus enter. And then again, this part is off screen, but I'm going to add some comments here. Version 29. Added. Actually, no. Corrected. Bird mount small. Color. What else did I do? Fixed universal mount bug and save. And version 30 will be off stream for everyone's sake. Alright, 25 minutes. Let's finish this. I'm not digging the 0.2. I like 0.25. So for all these supports, I'm gonna grab literally everything that I can. And then I'm gonna put 0.25, copy to selected. So everything's at least 2.5. This one's probably gonna have to be like 0.3 or something. Yeah, that looks a little better. What I'm gonna do is select that, duplicate it, separate parent, and then edit it. Gonna move that to connect those up. I don't have to do that thing that I did at the beginning to get something like this, if I can just join them up together. No snapping, please. Thank you. This one. Yeah, that one. What is this one? Number 1. You only need 1 flange, bud. If that. Anyway, let's do mounting type. Large align plate. I didn't default it to align, but we'll deal with that later. GY, no, GZ. And this is the edge from earlier. I'm gonna delete that. I need to be on local. It's also nice to be on local because one, I can kind of see the axis here when this is at 0 anyway, because if you turn it, you know, Another thing that I do sometimes is to put like the gizmo on. I don't even know how to turn that on. Default gizmos for move and rotate. Where even is this? Oh, that's where it is. And then you can kind of put the 3D gizmo there. I don't really like rotate, but I do like the move so I can see my axis at least. And then, you know, you can move it with that. Is this one aligned? Yes. I'm gonna copy that, move it on the Y, and I'm also gonna take it out of this one and put it in loop. The way I edit or organize this is kind of the same. So I have the sections, except instead of having a track and then a support one, I just kind of have first drop, the drop track. The mounts are going to be the little pieces under. Track is the actual track that you can edit. And then supports are going to be all the different supports. I feel like it's a bit more organized than last time. The last time felt a little, I don't know. Whoops. Scrap that one. Alright, I gotta stop with the gizmo. I may redo this to add one here and like move this back a little bit. Yeah, that one's 0.3. And then the one here. Is it usually right in the middle here? I think I might go a little bit over. I don't know why I always duplicate it and right click. Kind of like takes away the point of duplicate. Also gotta rotate these. I don't like that. Why was it going so slow? Why? Alright, I suppose I should add the secondary. Let's duplicate that. Let's not grab that. Let's move that on the X. And then that. Let's not select that. That down. Alright, so this is number 2. I'm going to do that and delete it. Duplicate, move that there. We're also going to rotate on the Z 180. Boom. So yeah, that versus Planet Coaster, I'm choosing this every time. Just kind of why it killed the game for me. What I'm gonna do here is get rid of the mount, align it to 0, just so I have that one, and then I'm gonna move this over so I can create like the part there. And yeah, this is a little raised. I'm gonna have some land terraforming that I'm gonna have to do probably, or maybe just raise all of it to that level, but I need these to be on the ground. Okay. The mount tool that I was talking about earlier needs some work. Right up here. Just move that over. Still needs some work done to it. It doesn't have any gizmos. I am changing this texture because I cannot see. Oh wait. You can't raise it and lower it to match the track, but and there's no gizmos. This is 1.1, but you still can duplicate it and convert it to mesh. What you can do is highlight those two, hit G, snap them, and snap these as well. Just bring those down. And this is the part where you kind of line these up. Extrude on Z. Put the cursor in the middle. Scale on Z. Choose an edge. Scale it on that edge. No. G Y? No. All that. And GZ. GZZ. Just to make it touch it, you know. And then we're gonna move this up a few units. Fix the offset. This is 0.20 or 1.0 or 1.20. Lord. Duplicate it, convert it to mesh, edit mode. Snap. Snap. I scale on the Z axis only. All of it. See it from the top. Fix it. Turn off snapping. thought I'd miss this playlist. That's crazy. Just gonna move that on the Y. And move these on the line. No need to scale. Alright, so I have the cursor there, and I do want to... Where's the cursor for... or the... Hold on. Set origin to 3D cursor. I like the origin to be at the top of wherever that is. And then... Can you scale it? Nah. Move on the everything but Z. No, you can't do that. I want to align this on this axis without ruining everything. Let's go to local axis and GY. I'm not sure how close to the edge these pieces are supposed to be. Like here, you know? Hi. Oh, yep. I think that's fine, right? Is that how it looks? Is that how it's supposed to be? I guess so. Got 9 minutes. 1.3. And snap. Snap. Oh boy. I guess what I could do here is take this. Just get rid of that. And I believe we'll move on to Z. Yes. Oh, oops. Yeah, so the Z is going to do that. And then here we'll just kind of move it on the X. Yes. And then move them on the Z one more time. GX. Here we go. All of it. Extrude it on Z. Oh, it's snapping. Okay. Oh, I see what was going on there. So what we'll do here is we'll take one of these lines, just get rid of this, make another one, and select all of them, and we'll scale on the Y, no, Z, no, the X, no, yeah, 0. And then we'll take this, and scale that on the Y. Alright, this needs to be something like that. See, this is supposed to be like one of those, but that's too low for the support to handle. Or that footer, anyway. Move this to normal. Move that along the Z. Oops, stream died for a second. I'm gonna take these points and we're gonna move into the face. GG, yeah, GG face. Nah. Let's do GG, Alt, face. But it is something. What's it, X? I don't even remember. We can take this, whoops. This one here, make an edge, move all of these, move Y, and GY. What the heck is happening? Maybe I can match it to that one. GY. The music, please stop. For now, that's just how that's gonna have to be. Whoops. GG. I guess I can, if I take this whole thing. I can select the whole thing and don't even have to worry about all that. Okay, so now let's select that, get rid of all these, extrude it on the Y. Z. Those two scale Y. Scale Y. So we're gonna take these. No snapping. Gonna roughly place these. All right. All right. That's gonna be good for now. I'm gonna adjust these to see, you know, what kind of looks best for that. 1 minute over. Not surprised. That's 1.1. Duplicate. Turn to mesh. Move and snap. Extrude down. Scale to Z. Make a new edge. Scale to said edge. Maybe move this up a bit. Oops. Ah, I see. It's a bit too tilt. Alright. Move on the correct Z. Now this last one, probably gonna put here. I need to add a gizmo for this. Scale Z. Scale on Z. Select the edge. Scale on Y, but not too much. Set origin to 3D cursor. And move this there. Boom. Oh. Oh wait. Just forgot, not supposed to move that. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Now we just have to join all these together. With that, join. Get rid of this. Perfect. Well, it's not completely perfect. I cannot see that on there at all. With this texture, I'm not going to be able to edit that, but whatever. For now, that's fine. Let's turn off this, see what it looks like rendered, quote unquote. There we are. It looks exactly like the thumbnail. Looks like we did absolutely nothing. Sweet. And this is all that we have left to do, which shouldn't be bad now that all the tools are pretty much finished. But yeah, that's not Batman. And this is what we did. I'll probably do this tomorrow. I have no idea. I have no outro. That's it. Goodbye.